Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be doing a driving comparison between the Ram TRX, the Ford Raptor, and the new GMC Sierra AT4X AEV edition to find out which really expensive off-road pickup truck drives the best. Before we get in this video though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Kengar Ford here in American Fork, Utah for giving me some time with the TRX, with the Raptor as well. I'll include a link to their inventory in the description down below, and then a huge shout out and thank you to the National GMC here in American Fork, Utah for giving me some time with that AT4X. Link to their inventory in the description down below as well. And with that being said, as always, if you're going to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Okay, so we're setting off in the TRX first, and we're actually going to do an MPG test with all of the trucks. So I'm going to reset the fuel economy at the exact same time with all three trucks, and well, I guess we'll see which one is the most economical. Now, this isn't like a super long drive. I think it's just over, I can't remember how many miles it was. I think it's like just over 2-3 miles. But, you know, we'll get on the highway and all that kind of stuff. And regardless, it'll be interesting to see, you know, what the economy ends up being. That is an interesting, that must be like a Roush or something. It's got like wide body, or not wide body, it's got like big fender flares and everything. That's very interesting looking. Built off of platinum too. But anyways, the TRX definitely sounds cool. Seats are really comfortable too. And I will say the suspension, it has this like nice planted feel to it initially. If you guys remember, I owned one of these for like 2 years, so I'm very familiar with how this truck drives. The 35s do quite well. I will say though, it would have been cool if Ram would have been able to figure out how to fit, you know, 17, so we get a little bit more sidewall with this. But again, the brakes on the TRX are pretty weak already, and so it's like, yeah, if it had even smaller wheel or smaller brakes, that would be pretty interesting. Gosh, gotta love the sound. Now, since the GMC does not have a sport mode, I'm not going to put these, the Raptor and the TRX in sport mode, just to kind of keep things fair with the fuel economy and with the acceleration. We're just going to do this and smash it. Oh, I forgot how exciting this thing is. You just can't beat that Hellcat powertrain, but you definitely can beat 4.7 miles per gallon. Oh my goodness. Now, on the highway, I forgot how much, I'm making sure the windows are closed. Yeah, I forgot how much road noise this thing had with the tires and everything. Like, it's not horrible, but like, yeah, you can hear the tires quite a bit. There's quite a bit of wind noise too. I seriously, like, I honestly forgot about that. That's pretty crazy. But I will say the suspension's very comfortable. Gotta love these Baja style trucks because these active shocks really help out with just smoothing everything out. Yeah, geez, I forgot how loud the TRX is. Man, it's not bad. It's still fine, but it's just 35s definitely creates some noise. It's louder than, well, we'll go drive the Raptor next. I was gonna say it's louder than what I remember from my Gen 3. I haven't driven it though in a few weeks actually, to be honest. Steering's actually really good too, and this truck does feel heavy, but it handles really well. Again, the multi-link keeps it nice and planted. I feel like I barely have to get in the throttle for this thing to move. But yeah, it's a big heavy beast, but it's a big heavy beast that handles really well, and once you learn how to wrangle the beast, it's a ton of fun to drive. I absolutely loved owning my TRX, and I still do miss it to this day. But with that being said, let's go hop into the Raptor, see how that compares, and then we'll do the AT4X last. I forgot how bad the turning radius is with four-wheel drive in this truck. It's pretty bad. Okay, so the TRX got 9.7 miles per gallon. Okay, well, same deal, but in the Gen 3 this time. And if you guys watch the channel, you know that I own a Gen 3 with the 37 package, but this 35 package is kind of the sweet spot to go for because it's the most affordable Raptor you can get. at least of the F-150 series, right? And, you know, if you're not going to take the truck off-road, you really don't need the 37s. That is for sure. And I actually like this, I mean, I have the same interior on my Raptor, but I like this version because mine's like all blue, whereas the 22s and beyond, they've got blue mixed with black, and I think that this looks a little bit more classy than my all blue. My all blue is kind of a little bit over the top, that is for sure. I will say I like the steering on the Raptor way more than the TRX. Feels a little bit more direct, but it also feels lighter at the same time, so it just feels like it's a better steering rack. And when it comes to suspension, it's very similar in terms of comfort. Like, they're pretty much neck and neck in terms of suspension comfort. Now, obviously, the V6 sounds completely different than the V8. Love the V8 sound, but this V6, it's not bad. It's actually a pretty nice sound. Oh, good gravy. We got a Lexus in front of us. I'm gonna have to drive at like 2 miles an hour before this grandpa accelerates to speed, so yeah, bear with us for a second so we can get an actual acceleration here with the Raptor. Okay. So obviously not nearly as quick as the Raptor, or not the Raptor, the TRX. This is the Raptor. Not nearly as quick as the TRX. But obviously this has way less power than the TRX. If you want a Raptor that's as quick as the TRX, get the Raptor R, obviously. I will say, just as much wind noise, not as much tire noise though, interestingly enough. Not nearly as much tire noise. This feels a little bit more comfortable with the ride quality, but it's like neck and neck with the TRX. Like, they're so close. The Raptor, the 37s, I know this because I own it, it's more comfortable than both of them. Those 37s really do help out with the damping, but it makes the truck even slower, so there's that. Our fuel economy's not doing that much better than the TRX so far, so that's funny. But I will say, like, I wish that you could combine the driving dynamics of the Raptor with the engine of the TRX. You kind of can in the Raptor R, but the one thing that the Raptor R doesn't have that the TRX has is just the torquey feel out of that 6.2 V8 and the sound the Hellcat engine makes. Like, the exhaust note and the supercharger whine of the Hellcat is so much better than the Raptor R. Like, I love the Raptor R to death, but that TRX seriously sounds so good. So yeah, summing things up here with the driving with the Raptor, it basically has all the good stuff of the TRX and a little bit more, but it does not have the engine. So that is the one thing that this doesn't have. But I'm sure that what we lose in engine, we will definitely make up in better fuel economy. So, Raptor, 12.1 miles per gallon. So last but not least, AT4X. The reason I say this one for last is obviously it's the newcomer on the block in terms of like this package. Like, this package is new for 23, whereas you've been able to get a TRX and a Raptor since 2021 model year. So first off, I will say getting massaged is nice. Ford, Ram, add massaging seats to those trucks. Again, they're, you know, 80, 90,000 plus dollars, right? And that's obviously before the dealers get a hold of them. And so massaging seats, that would be a nice thing to have with those, the price point they're at. But regardless, the first thing I'm noticing is this feels in between both of those trucks. So the Raptor had this like lightweight, sporty, agile feel. The TRX still was like sporty, but it was heavier, that's for sure. Whereas this, it feels lighter than the TRX, but heavier than the Raptor. Now, in terms of the powertrain, this is the most normal to a pickup truck, right? Like, the Raptor has high output EcoBoost, right? It's unique to the Raptor. The TRX has the Hellcat engine, unique to the TRX, at least in terms of the, you know, 1500 series trucks. Whereas this 6.2 V8, you can have this in any GMC Sierra. It's a great powertrain paired to a good transmission, but it doesn't have the same like special feel that those two powertrains have, especially the TRX powertrain, right? And, well, let's punch it though and see how this thing performs. This thing moves. Ooh. Man, this might be the slowest out of the bunch, or about the same as the Raptor, but it sounds great, let me tell you. 6.2 V8. Now, when it comes to the highway, I feel like it's just as comfortable as the other two, pretty much. You get a little bit more road chatter. The other two absorb it a little bit better, but it's pretty dang close. With that being said, there's like no tire noise. It's pretty much not, I mean, you can hear a little bit. It's pretty minimal though. Wind noise is actually the least out of the bunch too, I'd say. Or it's pretty close between all of them. Man, the ride quality in this is really good though. I thought that I was going to be, you know, again, since this has the smallest tires, I thought I was going to be disappointed in the ride quality, but GMC actually rides really well. So I think that's a big plus. Yeah, I really like how this drives. Again, the handling's not quite as sporty as per se the Raptor. And again, that's a big part of that is the wider track that both those trucks have, and they have wider tires, so they just have, you know, higher grip levels than what this truck's gonna have. So there's just a big difference with that. So we'll see what the final fuel economy rating is, and then we'll sum things up. Okay, you can see with the GMC 10.8 miles per gallon. So to cap things off with the driving comparison, first off, the GMC impressed me quite a bit. It definitely drives better than I expected compared to the other two. I thought this was going to be the roughest ride and everything, again, because it has the smallest tires, the least amount of travel, so I figured that means that, yeah, things are just going to upset it more, but it actually did a really good job with driving. And so here's kind of my thoughts. So the TRX looks like an amazing value out of this bunch because you get a super special powertrain, a super capable truck when it comes to off-roading, and, you know, with what Ram dealers will sell those trucks for, it's just like the value proposition is really strong there. The Raptor, I think, drives the best, but it has such a lackluster powertrain. Not having a V8, yes, you can get the Raptor R, but those things are really expensive, first off, from an MSRP perspective, and then once market adjustments are tacked on, they're just completely out of touch. They're like twice as expensive as all the other trucks. And so the Raptor, like I said, best driving dynamics out of the bunch. The GMC has a very solid powertrain and has really good driving dynamics, so it's kind of like in between the Raptor and the TRX in a way, at least for on-road driving. Now, obviously off-road, this doesn't have the tire size, the ground clearance, or the travel of the other two, so it's not going to be as capable off-road, but people don't really take these trucks off-road. And so when it comes to on-road driving, the GMC drives surprisingly well. However, obviously you guys know that I chose the Raptor, right? Because I own a Gen 3 Raptor. I really do like how that drives despite my gripes with the powertrain. And so, yeah, there's pluses and minuses to all of them. Let me know which truck you like the best out of the bunch. I'll see ya.